Hi everyone and welcome back to Joy As It Flies. If you're new here, my name's Alyssa and I deal with the crochet side of this channel. So as the weather is so horribly cold at the moment, I thought I'd share another one of my patterns for a crochet ear warmer. This pattern is really quick and easy and is also a great project for beginners. I hope you all enjoy it and let's get into it. First of all, you are going to need any chunky yarn of your choice. I'm using this one here and I believe it's an acrylic and wool blend. Next, you are going to need a 6mm crochet hook or whatever size hook your yarn requires. You'll also need a pair of scissors and a darning needle. You can also use a tape measure and some stitch markers, but these two are optional. You're going to begin by making a slip knot, which you can then pop onto your hook. Now from here, you are going to chain the desired width of your headband plus one extra chain. So however wide you want your headband to be, plus one extra chain. So yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through, and yarn over, pull through, and so on. There we are, I've made a chain of 13, so I want the 12 chains to be the width of my headband, then plus my one extra chain. From here, we're going to find the second chain from our hook, and we're going to make one half double crochet into it. So yarn over, insert your hook, yarn over and pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. And you're going to repeat that all the way down your chain. So you're going to make one half double crochet into every single chain along until you get to the end. So here we are, I have one more chain left. And there we are, that is the end of row 1. So it should be looking like this. For row 2 and onwards, begin by chaining 1, this doesn't count as a stitch, and turn your work. Now if you have a look at the tops of your stitches, you should be able to see the 2 little V's. So these 2 bars here. If you then turn your work forward, like this, you should be able to see a little horizontal bar just under the stitch. So this little bar here, this is called the third loop, and this is what we are going to be working into. So you can see we have one loop, our second loop, and our third loop right here. That is the loop we are going to be working into for the entirety of this pattern. So we are going to make one half double crochet into the third loop of each stitch. So into the first one, we're going to yarn over, insert your hook underneath that third loop, just like this, then yarn over and pull up a loop. Yarn over and pull through all 3 loops. Then into the next, working right under that third loop. And you're going to repeat this all the way along your row. And if you want to keep an eye on your stitch count, you should have the same number of stitches for every single row. You should never have more or less. So I'm just coming up to the end now. Just got one more stitch left. Now be really careful with this last stitch. This little bar here is the third loop. It's really easy to miss this one. If you want to, sometimes it helps if you're a beginner, you can mark the last stitch with a stitch marker, and this will help you keep track of it. And there we are, that is the end of row 2. So you are going to go ahead and repeat row 2 until you have your desired length. So for measurements, you can either use your own head to measure how tight or how loose you want your headband to be, or if you're making this for a gift, there is a size guide here, and you'll see that there is the average head circumference and then the headband length. I always recommend making your headband a little bit smaller than your actual head size, because that means that over time, as your headband stretches, it's not going to become too loose. So go ahead, work your headband until you have your desired size, and I'll meet you back when you've done that. So once you have your desired size, once you've worked all of your rows, we are going to chain 1 to fasten off, and then you're going to cut your yarn, and you want to leave a lovely long tail end, because we're going to be using this to sew our headband together. So this is what mine currently looks like. You can see the texture of this headband is beautiful. It's a lovely warm stitch for winter. So once you've done that, we are now going to join the ends together. To do this, you're going to thread that tail end that we had with our darning needle, and then you're going to intertwine the ends. And I like to do this by folding both of them in half, like this, and then you can slot them together. So sort of intertwine them like this. Then from here, using our darning needle, we are going to sew along this edge. So you're just going to weave your darning needle in and out, making sure you're catching all 4 pieces. That's a really important thing. You want to make sure you're getting all of your pieces. So you can see there's 1, 2, 3, and that 4th edge. And if you don't do this, if you miss one of the edges, then when you open your headband up, it's going to come undone. So it's really important to get all of the pieces. So you're just going to sew all the way across as many times as you need to, until you feel that your headband is nice and secure and it's not going to come undone. And then once you're happy with it, you can go ahead and weave in that remaining tail end, just so that it's really not going to come undone. And you can also go ahead and sew in any other tail ends that you might have. And then the final step is to turn your headband the right side out. And you'll see in a minute what the twist part looks like. There we are. And that's it, you are now done. You have your very own crochet ear warmer. I really hope you all enjoyed this tutorial. I really enjoyed making it. Thank you so much for putting up with my slightly stuffy sounding voice. If you have any comments or questions, please let me know in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with all of our new videos. I'll see you all again next week in my next tutorial, but until then, happy crocheting.